expected, and those winds causing a high surf advisory in coastal Worcester and Accomack County as well. Temperatures, well, of course, it's 7 o'clock, but right now 32 in Salisbury, and a lot of locations have fallen to freezing. So this snow is going to start more and more rapidly accumulating as we work our way through the next several hours into the overnight. This is the snowfall forecast as it stands right now. All of Delmarva in purple, 8 to 14 inches of snow by the time all is said and done. And I think some of those heavier snow bands, Dover down Delaware Route 1 to Milford, Georgetown, Route 113 to Snow Hill, could receive 14 inches or more. Isolated areas, even more than that. So everyone is going to be getting in on big snow with this storm system. And those winds are really starting to pick up at the coast, 45-mile-per-hour winds in Ocean City. This is why the blizzard warning is in effect. That wind is blowing the snow around. We are seeing a lot of locations with visibilities below half a mile. In Rehoboth Beach, it has fallen down to just 1/10 of a mile visibility. So do not be on the roads tonight if you do not have to be. Keep the roads clear for the road clearing crews, the DOT, Public Works, and of course first responders so that they can get to where they need to go. They don't need to be pulling people out of the ditch who really didn't need to be on the roads tonight. Blizzard conditions going to be continuing for the rest of the evening. Not very cold, but cold enough to see those rapidly increasing accumulations dropping down to 31 by 11 p.m. And not only that, we could have a little bit of convective activity. Thunder snow is a possibility. Sussex County and the lower eastern shore. So if you hear a rumble of thunder tonight, don't be surprised. You're not hearing things. That heavy snow and that thunder snow threat continues through the evening into the overnight. That snow will start to become a little more lighter as we get towards sunrise on Monday. The snow will taper off as we work our way through Monday. But the winds, in addition to the snow, are going to be the showcase threat out of the north-northeast, gusting 30 to 40 to 50 miles per hour over land, gusts to 60 right near the water as well. So taking a look at the main points we want you to take home in this forecast. Heavy blowing and drifting snow is expected during the overnight into tomorrow. Significant accumulations for the entire peninsula. And because this is going to be a wetter snow, not very fluffy, make sure you're shoveling your snow every couple of hours. Don't hurt your back. Don't hurt your knees. And if you have a sidewalk, remember, just about all towns have an ordinance that require you clear that sidewalk within a certain period of time after the snow ends. We'll talk a little more about some of the other threats facing Delmarva in just a few minutes. David?
Thunder snow, that's when you know it's really bad. I've been in thunder snow before, and it was just a horrible storm. Thank you, John. By the way, if you're just now joining us, thanks for being with us tonight for the streaming-only version of WBOC News. We want to now go into Ocean City, a live look through our Gateway Subaru camera. And the snow has replaced the sand there along the boardwalk and, of course, on the beach. That is where we find Coast TV's Kevin Zappe live tonight. Kevin, how are things looking out there on the coast?
David, we are live at the Ocean City Inlet, and we've been here throughout the day, and a lot of the weather has been changing. At around 2 p.m. it was pouring rain, then it became big flurries, and now it's sort of a mix of this hail and snow kind of hitting me straight across the face. But one thing has stayed the same, and that is the strong wind has been pushing it forward towards me. And just for example, take a look at this cone. You'll see that the snow is on this end right here, but not on this side. That's because everything is pushing to the side and nothing is kind of falling straight down. Now, if you check out the roads right now, it's starting to see some snow accumulate. You check it out right here. Now, this wasn't here a couple hours ago, but things are starting to stick now. That is something that the Ocean City, the town of Ocean City, is concerned about. They sent out 2 press releases, one on Saturday and one today, advising people that if they don't have to go out on the roads, to stay inside during this storm. But they also said if you do have to drive out on the road, to be aware of possible black ice as the temperatures continue to drop, and of course all of this snow that continues to fall and stick on the road. Now that is something we will be keeping an eye on throughout the night. David, back to you.
Yeah, that snow is nasty when it's coming right at you like that. Might be time to get some goggles out there. Kevin Zappe in Ocean City. Meanwhile, folks there have been preparing for the big storm by stocking up at the local hardware store in Ocean City. Shovels, ice melt, ice scrapers. were all the hot items at the Ace Hardware store there. And while not too many people were out and about this afternoon in Ocean City, a lot of neighbors were getting the necessities. The one local told WBOC that they had already noticed a change in the air and he was not taking any chances.
This wind has gradually picked up throughout the day. It was fine this morning, and now it seems to be in the mid-20s. And also the rain is now freezing over into the snow. But I think this is going to start to stick. So, and well, I think I need to get some salt for the house and the driveway and the steps.
Another neighbor told WBOC he had to check 3 stores before finding a snow shovel ahead of tonight's storm in Ocean City. Well, Delaware Governor Matt Meyer has declared a state of emergency. That was as of noon today. That allows for using statewide resources to prepare for and respond to the storm, including the Delaware National Guard. And the first state issued a level 1 driving warning, which means drivers are urged to use extra caution if they do have to go out on the roads during the storm. Governor Meyer also said Code Purple shelters are opening statewide to make sure homeless Delawareans have a warm place to stay through the storm. He says the Delaware State Housing Authority has authorized emergency funding to support shelter providers and food banks across the first state. There are multiple shelters open across Delaware. For a full list, just go to our website or news app. Now to Sussex County, where WBOC's Michael Dane is live in Georgetown tonight. Michael, Delaware's under a level 1 driving warning, so how are the driving conditions out there? Oh, I think we were just about to get him. Can we take him another shot, or? Okay, I guess, okay, we'll try. Okay, we will try to get to Michael Dane later on tonight. He is in Georgetown this evening. The Sussex County Emergency Operations Center was activated about an hour ago to coordinate response across the first state to the storm. The center provides 911 service to Sussex County neighbors. It will allow Delaware fire departments and EMS to respond quicker and more effectively to any emergencies that may arise. Well, the Cape May Lewis Ferry announced several cancellations because of the storm. Some departures were canceled today and tomorrow. The Cape May departure for 7 a.m. is canceled, as well as the Lewis departure for 8:45 tomorrow morning. And while the blizzard is treacherous for many, for some in Milton, some of the smaller ones that is, good old-fashioned snow day. We met Blake and Braden's mom making this snowman in Milton. They say the second that the snow started falling, they were ready to go.
I love it! I loved it! I love making snowman here because it's definitely a fun day for having fun in the snow. Yeah, even my other.
I love that energy. The kids named the snowman Lopsy because it's, yeah, a little tilting to the left there. And I think they're going to have a lot more fun tomorrow because they are probably not going to be in school. Another live look outside, this time in Dover with the Bay Health Kent campus camera. WBOC meteorologist John Conway now says heavy snow and strong winds will make for impossible travel conditions on much of Delmarva tonight. And John, can you tell us when the heaviest snow is going to arrive?
Well, as we see in Dover there, the snow is picking up. So we are starting to see the heaviest of the snow making its arrival. And as those children showed us, this is actually going to be really good snowman making snow because it's going to be a wet snow. It's not going to be a dry, fluffy snow. And we're going to get a whole lot of it. This is another look at our snowfall forecast for tonight before everything ends tomorrow. All of Delmarva, with the exception of maybe Northampton County, should expect to see 8 to 14 inches of snow. Heavier snow bands could result in 14 to 18 or more, and I think the greatest likelihood of that is going to be along Delaware Route 1, south of Dover to Milford, Georgetown, down to Snow Hill. This is where we have the best chance of seeing the big blockbuster numbers. Right along the immediate coast, maybe slightly less. There is a better chance of maybe a little bit of rain briefly mixing in, but still, everyone should be prepared for treacherous and at times impossible driving conditions. Those winds, as we saw in Ocean City live, really picking up at the coast. 45-mile-per-hour winds gusting to 30 in Georgetown. Not quite as gusty in Easton and Cambridge, but once that snow really starts coming down, it's going to be reducing that visibility. Forecast winds overnight going to be gusting 30 to 40, possibly 50 miles per hour over land, 50 to 60 right at the immediate coast. And that wind is going to be pushing water from the Delaware Bay into the tidal waterways. This is why the blizzard warning is in place. That wind combining with the heavy snow, resulting right now in about a 1/10 of a mile visibility in Rehoboth Beach, less than a mile Salisbury, 1/2 mile Georgetown, less than a 1/4 mile in Lewis. Blizzard does not mean heavy snow or heavy snowfall rates. It means winds are going to be blowing the snow, causing dangerous visibility and blowing snow that could make roads that were recently plowed impassable. So not a night to be out there, especially because those snowfall rates could reach 2 to more inches per hour. Now, as I mentioned before, because of those strong winds on the Delaware Bay, we have a coastal flood warning for Kent County, Delaware, and Sussex County for Sunday evening to tonight during the high tide cycles. 1 to 2 feet of inundation will be possible with a coastal flood advisory in Worcester and Accomack County. This is your high tide times in these areas along the Atlantic coast. High tide's going to be coming up just after midnight in Chincoteague, a little after 11:30 in Ocean City, and around 12:21, 12:23 in the Indian River Inlet in Lewis, and on the Delaware Bay, where we have that coastal flood warning. High tide coming up 12:45 at the Mispillion River, just after 1 o'clock at Bowers Beach, and just after 1:30 tonight in Woodland Beach. So it's going to be overnight. Temperatures when the sun comes up tomorrow, upper 20s. That is cold enough for that big snow. However, the snow will start to taper off as we get through the day tomorrow, and everything should all be said and done by tomorrow evening. So wrapping everything up in the Delmarva Power 7-day forecast, or I should say in the winter weather here, heavy snow blowing and drifting tonight, significant accumulations possible. I mentioned this before. Make sure you shovel your snow every few hours. Don't wait until everything is all over to shovel the snow. It's going to be very heavy. Don't break your back. Shovel it every couple of hours. Now on the Delmarva Power 7-day forecast, the snow is going to stick around on Tuesday. Despite sunshine, it's going to be a cold and blustery day. Fortunately, though, as we look ahead to the next 7 days, we're going to see the return of 50s, and the snow won't stick around for too long. David?
Oh, look at that weekend next weekend. That's going to be glorious. All right, thank you, John. Well, we think we have our technical issues worked out. We're going to go back to Sussex County now. That's where we find WBOC's Michael Dane. And Michael, Delaware is under a level 1 driving warning. How are driving conditions out there?
Yeah, David, I hate to break it to you, but conditions on the road here in Georgetown, not exactly ideal. What we saw, though, when we were driving up was a bit of a different story. We were dealing with mostly rain earlier today, and the roads were mostly clear at that point. But then there was that transition period from rain to a mix of rain and snow. And now what we're dealing with is just all-out snow all over the place. The accumulation is coming down very rapidly, and we're beginning to see that snowfall stick on many streets. Now, as we were out and about earlier, we were talking to some folks. One gentleman in particular communicated to us that he was just trying to leave his house to go grab a bite to eat, get some food, and his car got stuck. So it just shows you, some of the challenges that people have been facing here in Georgetown. But on the flip side of that, we were going from neighborhood to neighborhood. We came across this family that was trying to embrace some of the positives of this storm. They were running around their yard, having a snowball fight, and even playing with their dogs. So really trying to have that quality time even as this snowfall does intensify. Now I want to show you, this is not exactly the light and fluffy snow that we've been talking about. We're dealing with much firm snow. If I pick some up off the ground here, you can see that this is really snowball snow that we're talking about. And this accumulation does continue to come down rapidly, even as the sun has now set and temperatures have fallen. It's really making conditions even more difficult here in Georgetown. David, back to you.
All right, thank you, Michael Dane. And yeah, really just can't imagine any reason to go out on the roads right now. Just stay home. We do have a long list of closings for tomorrow. In fact, I can't imagine that too many things are going to be open. The closings include Wycomico, Worcester County Schools, Salisbury University. For a full list of the closings for schools, government offices, and other things, you can find them on our website, WBOC, and our news app from WBOC. Just click on the closings banner at the top of the homepage. Then you can view and add your closings. To keep up with the latest on the rapidly falling snow, make sure to download the WBOC weather app powered by Hertree. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for this special edition of WBOC News on our news app and Facebook page. We will have more updates on the snow and chilly temperatures coming up on WBOC News at 10 on Fox 21 and on WBOC and Coast TV on the news at 11. Until then, stay safe, stay warm, and have a good night.